So you're thinking about moving to Narragansett, Rhode Island? Well, in today's video, my team and I are gonna go over to my desktop and take a 10,000 foot view of the map so you can see exactly what it's like to live in Narragansett, Rhode Island. Let's get started right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you're looking to know everything there is about living in Rhode Island or surrounding areas like Narragansett, subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market here in Rhode Island. My name is Devin, and my team and I, we get calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to Rhode Island, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email so we can help you make a smooth transition here to Rhode Island. Let's jump over to my desktop so we can review the map. So again, here we are in Narragansett. It's highlighted on my map. And I always like when I'm doing these map videos to kind of cover proximity first so you can see the different vantage points of being able to live in Narragansett and how far you are away from different locations. So going more towards the southern end, you have Charlestown and Westerly. Charlestown's going to be about 10, 15, 20 minutes away, and Westerly's probably going to be closer to 30 to 35 minutes away. A lot of people from New York and Connecticut do prefer Narragansett because they're able to get to this location fairly easily versus traveling all the way to Jamestown or Newport. So this is going to be about 25 to 30 minutes closer than Jamestown, Newport, Middletown, Portsmouth. When you're looking kind of on the backside here, you have Wakefield, South Kingstown, Kingston, excuse me. Kingston, this is where the URI campus is, just to give you proximity. So I went to URI, a lot of friends went to URI as well that I work with, and you'll see over here that the majority of the students that go to URI, just to point this out, live in the Bonnet Shores area, or they live in the Scarborough Beach area. Now, it's much easier to get to North Providence, East Greenwich, Warwick, etc., all the way up to Providence because you're already on these side of the bridges. To get to the Providence Airport, that's probably going to be anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. It's going to be much faster than the locations over in Middletown, Newport, or Jamestown. North Kingstown's very accessible as well. So as far as convenience, there's no, you don't have to go over any bridges to get out of town. I will say that during the summer months, Route 1 does tend to get very backed up. It gets very backed up because there's so much beach traffic that's heading in and out, because Narragansett is known for its beaches. You have Narragansett Town Beach, you have Scarborough Beach, you have Roger Wheeler State Beach. So these are very popular beaches for people that are living in Rhode Island or visiting Rhoode Island. So that gives you some proximity to the locations nearby. Now, if you're coming from Boston, again, this is going to be a much further ride. You have to come down 95, you have to come through Warwick versus being able to just go down Route 24 over to the Middletown, Newport area. So you're going to be looking at a 2 to 2.5 hour ride. If you're coming from Connecticut, it's probably a little closer, an hour and a half. New York, maybe a little closer, maybe 3 hours, and maybe 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours depending on traffic. You always have to factor in the traffic when you're heading from New York. So this gives you some proximity as well. So let's drop down onto the map. Let's cover some of my favorite neighborhoods here in the Narragansett area. So the first neighborhood that we're going to focus on is the Bonnet Shores neighborhood. So Bonnet Shores is kind of all, if you look here, I really think that, so Boston Neck Road, but this little kind of break, there's a little bridge that you pass over here. This kind of separates the further point of Narragansett and really defines Bonnet Shores. A lot of URI kids do live here in Bonnet Shores. The homes you're going to find are mostly second homes that people are renting out to URI college students from September to May, and then either occupying the home or renting the property weekly, since there are no restrictions over in the Narragansett area. Students like this location because it tends to be closer than down the line, as the URI students refer it to. So you can take Morrisfield Road, drop right down, and you get into Bonnet. I would say this is probably 10 to 15 minutes closer than traveling from Scarborough Beach area. Morrisfield Road is a much faster road to travel than heading the way you have to head up 108 from the Scarborough Beach area. So this is going to be your Bonnet Shores neighborhood. You can easily access Route 138, so it makes it very convenient if you're looking to go into North Kingstown or Wickford Village. And then you can get right onto the Jamestown Bridge and jump into Jamestown or over here to Newport. So this is going to be the first neighborhood that we're highlighting, is the Bonnet Shores neighborhood. The second neighborhood that we'll highlight is the Narragansett Pier neighborhood. Now, what's nice about the Narragansett Pier is it's kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but what I like about the Narragansett Pier is there's a tremendous amount of shopping, restaurants, local boutique stores in the pier. They have pretty much everything you need right here in the pier. You don't have to really travel anywhere in Narragansett. You can get everything that at your convenience. Again, a lot of the restaurants are over in this area. One of the more popular restaurants is Crazy Burger, which I'll highlight here in a little bit. But again, easily walkable to Narragansett Town Beach. So a lot of people, even URI students, find the Narragansett Pier desirable. URI students are going to tend to want to live in Bonnet and in the Scarborough Beach neighborhood because the majority of their friends are going to occupy those homes. So this is the Narragansett Pier. As we move further into Narragansett, this is going to be the Scarborough Beach neighborhood. So the Scarborough Beach neighborhood, there's really two defined neighborhoods in this area. You have kind of old and new, I believe old and new eastward look. That's what I think we called it when we were there. So you have Burnside Ave over here. There's a whole neighborhood full of URI kids here. And then on this side of Burnside Ave as well. Also, a lot of kids will occupy across the street here where Durkin Realty is, or Durkin Cottages. There's a lot of homes that Durkin owns over here. So this is a popular URI spot as well. As we move further, into the map, you can also highlight Great Island. So the Great Island is kind of closer towards the Block Island Ferry. So you travel down Galilee. The homes out here are going to be definitely more spread out. A lot of the homes, especially on like Starfish Drive or Seacrest Drive, East Shore Road here, a lot of these homes have water views. So this is going to be primarily second home. Not a lot of URI kids rent over here. It's too far down. Definitely adds another 10 or 12 minutes to your trip, and it's already a long drive into going to campus. When I was going to URI, it took about 20 to 25 minutes to get to campus, depending on the traffic. So this is the Great Island. Homes are going to be more of a higher price point over here. And again, the Block Island Ferry you take out from right here. So this is going to definitely be a little more exclusive, a little more private, because a lot of the tourists don't really turn onto Great Island. They kind of are going to Galilee to go to Block Island, or they're going to be more into the neighborhoods I featured just a few moments ago. The last neighborhood that we're going to focus on is Ocean Road. Ocean Road reminds me a lot of Ocean Drive in Newport. So Ocean Road, there's a lot of exclusive homes that are waterfront, that face the water. These are going to be your higher priced homes. They have really nice views of the water. And again, a lot of these homes, as you travel Ocean Road, you'll see there's gates to them. So they're going to be definitely a lot more private, a lot more exclusive compared to the other neighborhood highlights that we just went through. Now, as far as different restaurants to visit, I'm going to highlight a few restaurants that I enjoy going to. So you have the Coast Guard House, which is in the pier, right off of the Narragansett Pier neighborhood. You can walk to this. If you're living in this neighborhood, you could easily walk there. You also have the Crazy Burger. So Crazy Burger, Coast Guard House, it does cater all day long. I tend to find that when the weather's really nice, it becomes, a nice mid-afternoon lunch spot into the evening, and in the wintertime, definitely known more for the evening. Crazy Burger is a really popular lunch spot. They do dinner as well. Not too late, but it's going to be more of a casual sit-down restaurant. You could walk to Crazy Burger and Coast Guard House if you wanted to. Again, if you're living in that Narragansett Pier neighborhood, you can walk there as well. Two of the other restaurants that I'd like to focus on and highlight is Spain of Narragansett. So Spain of Narragansett, this is going to be a much higher end restaurant. So I'm going to click on some of the photos here. So you can see this is going to be much more higher end than Crazy Burger. Coast Guard House can go either direction in my opinion. but the food here is excellent. It's a restaurant that a lot of people travel to. I would say it's an iconic restaurant in Narragansett that a lot of people travel to go to dinner. So don't miss out on going to Spain. Hopefully these photos kind of help you get a feel for the restaurant and the atmosphere that it provides. Now, one restaurant in particular that has been really a Rhode Island staple is Iggy's. So Iggy's, I remember being in Narragansett when Iggy's was just a small, literally maybe a very small structure. And then obviously through their success, they built this structure and some of the best seafood, fish and chips that you can get. I'm just clicking on some of the pictures so you can get a feel for it, but they always have a line out the door. It's a Rhode Island staple. I actually called them when I first got into real estate to try to get them to put a spot over in Newport. That's how much I enjoyed their food. So those are the restaurants you're gonna wanna focus and make sure to visit while you're in Narragansett. Now, moving to some of the grocery stores, you have two major grocery stores. There are some grocery stores in South Kingstown, but I'm just highlighting Narragansett. So you have Stop and Shop, which is right here. So Stop and Shop obviously has everything that you need. They're gonna be off of Point Judith Road. So this plaza has a lot of things. They have a Dollar Tree, they have a Marshall's, Walgreens, but Stop and Shop is gonna be probably the main grocery store that you'll visit, especially if you're there for a week or come there for the summer months, because you can get everything you need. And then you also have, let me find it on the map, because I know you also have Roaches, Rockies, whatever you want to call it, depending on how you want to pronounce it, Fresh Deli. So this is more of a boutique-y type of restaurant. This is going to be in the Bonnet Shores area. So this is right off of Boston Neck Road. They have a great selection of seafood, fresh meats. So if you're looking for something a little more, I tend to find they're a little more expensive than Stop and Shop. So they're going to be more of your prepared foods to go. But this is a great spot, especially if you're heading to the beach that day, to be able to grab some lunch meats, put everything together so that you can, enjoy the beach without having to go to the snack bars there. So those are the two grocery stores that I would highlight. Now, some of the things to do in Narragansett. One of the most popular things to do, and it has been for years, is to go visit Block Island. So the Block Island Ferry is right at the end of Galilee Escape Road. There's a few different parking lots. You will pay for parking. The state parking lot is kind of on the backside over here. There's other parking lots over here. So it's going to be range between $15 and $20 per day. And Block Island is right off of, let me find it for you. Let's see, here's Block Island right here. So there's two options as far as to get out to Block Island. Well, three options. You can drive to Westerly and fly out to Block Island, or you take the ferry. Now, the ferry offers a traditional ferry and a high-speed ferry. The high-speed ferry is just gonna be in the summertime. I always like taking the high-speed ferry. It significantly reduces your time out to Block Island. It's a 30-minute trip rather than an hour trip, and I tend to get seasick. So I like to be able to get through the waves, get it over and done with, and not have to just hang out there and feel the slow rollers as you're going on the traditional ferry. But a lot of people will take the traditional ferry if you're bringing a car out there, because you are allowed to put your car on that ferry. Just be mindful that you have to book that well in advance. It gets booked up very quickly. The second thing you're gonna wanna do is the Point Judith Lighthouse. So I'm gonna click on that so you can see it. Again, you can see kind of the views that you get to have from here. This is a great spot to take wedding photos, take family photos, sit out here and read. I find it to be really peaceful. It's gonna be all the way in the tip of Point Judith. So this is a place you're not gonna wanna miss. It's the Point Judith Lighthouse here in Narragansett. And then, I'm gonna type this in for you guys, is the Narrow River Kayaks. So right here. So I personally have done this once. It was fun. I find kayaking to be a pretty intense workout, but this is something if you're looking to burn some energy with the kids, Narrow River Kayaks is right here. They're gonna be off Middlebridge Road. So this is something you can put on your to-do list outside of going to Block Island and the Point Judith Lighthouse. So it's gonna be more towards the Bonnet area. Don't wanna forget Brickley's Home Ice Cream. I know I kind of jumped around to the other restaurants, but this again is a staple in Narragansett. This place right here, I went over there probably 2 weeks ago, and they had literally, I would say 300 to 400 people in line. They are very, very well known for their ice cream. So if you're looking for a dessert, you do not want to miss out on Brickley's ice cream. Now, to highlight some of the schools, so really you have a couple different schools here. You have the URI campus, so that's what really drives the economy in the winter. But you have the Narragansett High School, Narragansett Middle School, Narragansett Elementary School. So what's nice about that, they're kind of all, makes it very streamlined. They're all kind of in the same area, so that that's gonna be your options for schools. And then you do have the Middlebridge School, which is a school that is for those that have not a learning disability, but you know, they practice different learning types to be able to make the kids enjoy the school much better, and they have different strategies to help students through school. So those are gonna be your schools over there. And then your wedding venues, there's two major wedding venues that I would point out. So you have Sunset Farm, which is, let me show you. So it's right over here. So this is gonna be kind of Sunset Farm as you get past Point Judith Country Club, off to your left or right, depending. It's gonna be off of Point Judith Road. And then the Towers. So the Towers is over here next to the Coast Guard House. So I just wanna pull that up so you can see it. So it's on Ocean Road. And this is a spot that's well known for its wedding venues too. So the Coast Guard House is right on the back side here, but really cool photos that you can capture here. Narragansett Town Beach is over here. This is actually a view from Narragansett Town Beach. So those are gonna be the two wedding venues. I'll pull up Sunset Farm so you can see it. Again, off of Point Judith Road. So this is gonna be the venue here. They don't have a lot of wedding photos here. They also have food trucks. Oh, here we go. So this will show you. So they have their weddings up here. So if you're looking for a little more of a rustic kind of style wedding, then Sunset Farms I think is going to be a great option for you. As far as golf, I always like highlighting that for the golfers out there. You have Point Judith Country Club. Unfortunately, Point Judith Country Club, is going to be a private course. It's a very exclusive golf course here in Rhode Island. The memberships, don't quote me, I think are upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 per year to be a member here, and it's invite only. So you can not just go golf there, you have to either go with a member or be invited in. So that covers, hopefully that gave you a much better feel of Narragansett and the surrounding area. If you're looking to purchase property here in Narragansett or surrounding areas in Rhode Island, all of my information is in the description below.